Hey guys, thanks for joining again. I got a very special guest today. I was very excited to have Jeff Lloyd from Cloud Team Real Estate. He focuses on commercial, big deal real estate deals, million square foot warehouses. He does tenant leases and real estate with his whole team, as well as, but mainly commercial stuff. I've been very interested in finding out his secret sauce on LinkedIn strategies and how he has time to network with like a master. We're in a networking group, Success Champions Network, and I see him at a lot of the events, a lot of the other chapters groups, and I'm just like, man, where does he get all this time? But I think that's going to be part of our questioning. We'll get into, so one of my first questions is, what does a normal day look like for you?
That's a rough one because every day is very different. A lot of it, I'm on the phone a lot. I usually get up about 4 a.m. and my day ends probably about 10. So
Oh, wow.
I don't have, my people that know me really well say I don't really have an off button.
No off button.
No off button. But I do recharge, and a lot of that kind of morning time, I'm recharging. Some people have different like hobbies and different things like that they recharge with, but I'll get up in the very wee early morning hours, and what I like to do is I like to read and research. You've got a sign hanging here in your office that says, if you're not willing to learn, then no one can help you, basically.
Yes.
It's the whole Zig Ziglar thing, but if you are willing to learn, nothing can stop you. I like that.
I'm a big learner. Readers are leaders. That's what
right.
I've heard. I'm more of an audio book because I'm driving so much,
Yeah.
but I'm always looking for new books to consume.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then occasionally I have to read some that aren't audio, but I enjoy it all too.
Yeah.
Do you intentionally design your life for visibility, or did this level of activity evolve naturally over time?
I am in a role that requires a heavy footprint of marketing and sales. So there's intentionality behind the visibility. It is something that I had to really learn to do. And I take selfies like crazy, not because I like to, but because it's necessary. People need to recognize me. You don't even know how many times I have met somebody new or met somebody and they're like, I feel like I know you. It's like, I've seen you before. And it's like, some folks are just like, you look very familiar. And I always say, thanks. Because it's like,
My marketing.
It's my marketing, exactly. It's like, yes, my face is there and they've recognized it, right? So there is an intentionality behind the visibility. You and I were talking about posting on socials, more specifically LinkedIn. I'm not the type of guy where, you normally see like the people in their profession and they're talking just about, hey, here's a house I have to sell, and they post that, or hey, I'm trying to sell this building, and they post that, and it's like, here's the cap rates, and here's like, the parking and all this stuff. You'll rarely ever see me post anything about that.
I haven't.
Literally nobody cares. If they want to see that, they'll go on LoopNet or Crexy or, for the normal homeowners, Zillow or Realtor.com, right? I don't need to post it on social. They're going to call me because they want to work with me on a transaction or want advice or something like that. So I don't post content like that. I'm not saying that it's bad to do that at all. It's just I find that people engage with my content because of the things that what I'm talking about resonates with them. And usually pictures of buildings don't resonate with people. And that's
Pictures of faces do.
Pictures of faces do.
And stories.
And stories and things that you do and research that you come up with and, you know, stuff that matters to them. It's like, you know, if you're a person that you normally work with, you know, we call them an avatar, right? Like a persona type person. You know, if they're a business owner, right? Like you and I would share that avatar. And they're an owner operator. So they go into the office every day, or they go into the building, the warehouse, the whatever. They commute there all the time. You know, maybe they're interested in things about commuting. Maybe I should talk about that, like things like that. You know, it's like that's how I think about like the content that I create for LinkedIn.
That's amazing. I also do similar stuff. I have avatars built for how to talk to certain business owners, apartment owners.
Yeah.
Have an avatar. The older people that we sell roofs to, some of my favorite because they're home during the day.
Yeah.
You don't have to work late hours.
Yeah. That's great.
Retired people, they're my favorite.
They're your favorite.
But
it's
so,
like how's 10 a.m. You know?
yeah, they're like that's perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of high IQ people struggle socially.
Yeah.
And they struggle with high level deals. You seem to do both. How do you balance deep thinking with constant interaction?
Man, that's tough. That's tough. Let me tell you. It's not just it's not just things like networking or social, you know, posting or anything like that. There is a barrage of communication that hits me all the time. Like before we started here, like I got a call and you have to pick up your phone if you're in real estate. Pick up your phone because like I call a lot of realtors, you know, commercial realtors and advisors all the time, and I'm leaving messages or I'm texting them because they're not replying or picking up their phone, and so I feel like I have to do outbound cold calling to the people who are representing properties or buyers. Like, why are you not picking up your phone? It's like you're screening me or something. I don't know. But the reality is that a lot of the deep thinking is time you have to set aside for. And so like when I talk about like those morning hours, I'm setting aside very intentionally deep thinking time where nobody's going to bother me because no one's going to call me at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Most of the time my phone or messages don't start showing up till 7:30. So that's 3.5 hours that I can better myself and learn, to research and read, to think methodically and strategically about different deals that I have going, different things maybe I want to talk about and post about. And then Saturday mornings, which this is a pretty consistent thing now, I've been writing a newsletter on LinkedIn. It's called The Capital Stack. And it's really all about like owner operator, investors, you know, here in North DFW, what matters to them and what's going on around DFW. And so I will get up. I have an AI agent on Friday night go out and scour the entire internet and bring me all of the news articles for the things that are going on around DFW.
Oh wow!
And so then on Saturday morning, I go and I compile a lot of that, and I look at like all of the different summarizations, and I put together a something that blends a lot of these things together to be able to offer like, you know, strategic advice as to where you should be looking and stuff like that. And so like you see, like this past week, there's a data center being built down like Midlothian area, right? There's another data center being built in Plano. There's a bunch of multifamily investments happening in Denton and Garland and Dallas. And it's like, okay, so what are those signals saying, right? And so like I see these events that are happening, and these, large institutional capital, investors coming and doing these things. So what does that mean, and what does that mean for the surrounding areas? So like, investors and business owners, operators, there are adjacent services that these things need, right? So like data centers are going to have some traffic, not much, but some employees coming and going, taking care of the data centers. Definitely servicing companies of all sorts, right? Data centers use lots of water. People don't realize that.
I didn't realize that.
Not just electricity.
Cooling the computer chips.
Mm-hmm. And other things. I mean, they need massive amounts of water for any sort of, I'm not going to get into it.
Heavy computing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and most of these data centers are doing extreme heavy computing because they're being built for AI. And AI uses massive amounts of computing power. But like, the multifamily units, if it's new construction, like what goes around multifamily? It's like lots of retail, lots of restaurants, it's a big consolidation of a potential labor pool. So, how close is that to a major employer or what have you? So like, I like to offer advice. It's like, this is what's happening. This is how close it is to like a logistics corridor or whatever. And so every week I've been writing about that. So I get up, back to the deep work thing. I get up 4 a.m. still on Saturday morning. I consume all that information and I pen an article and I post it. And I post it on LinkedIn.
And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I have like almost 700 subscribers.
I was just looking at that on your LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I was like, oh, you got almost 700 subscribers. That's pretty big feat. The first 1,000 is the hardest, I hear.
Yeah. I get about 50 new subscribers a week.
Oh,
which
wow.
is really neat. Yeah, and so thank you to everybody out there. And if you're not a subscriber, I guarantee you the content will be valuable to you. So go subscribe to my newsletter, The Capital Stack.
I didn't know that was your newsletter. I just saw it on your LinkedIn like right before you came in, and I was like, I wonder if this is his newsletter.
Yeah.
So on top of all the LinkedIn, you're also doing a newsletter. That's big movement.
Yeah, and you talk about time. So when we started this brokerage, we kind of put together what our mission is for the brokerage. Okay, because agents who hang their shingle under Cloud Team, we wanted them to understand what we want to offer them, right? And so kind of our mission statement for the agent part of the business, because we all have clients ourselves, right? So like we're all running our own little entrepreneurial business basically as agents, but the brokerage is running a business for the agents themselves. The agents are running a business for their clients. So the brokerage, we believe in giving agents back their time, and so everything that we do is to maximize the amount of time that they have to be able to focus on their clients. And so there's so much work that an agent does that is administrative and paperwork and things like that. And so the whole mission behind any engagement or thing that we create or thing that we offer our agents is really to give them back their time. So you asked me where I find all this time to do these things. It's because Cloud Team has specifically designed the quote-unquote operating system of the company to give agents back their time. So like, I don't write any contracts. We have contract writing people who write all the contracts for all the agents at no cost to them, right? So the brokerage like invests in licensed agents who don't actually do any transactions themselves. They only write the contracts for the other agents.
Wow.
And so that way, because maybe let's say 30 to 40% of the time an agent spends is contract movement, something about that, right? It has nothing to do with growing their what we call production, right? the amount of deals that they're doing. It's just things that need to be done in order to transact real estate that don't necessarily produce more sales. They finish a sale, right?
Yeah, it's like the production part of roofing, like after you sell it, get out of the way is like we want the sales guy to not have to do as much, watch the jobs and stuff like that.
He's not the PM too,
yeah,
right?
it's like, man, we want you out selling more deals, talk to the neighbors.
That's right. So like right now, there's a guy, his name's Gary Keller. He was one of the founders of Keller Williams, right? And he wrote a book called The $1 Million Real Estate Agent. And so in that book, he said, and I'm going to talk residential just because that's what it was about. In that book, he said, an agent can, in 30 days, handle 15 seller listings or 8 buyer listings, or buyer representations. Okay, so a buyer would be taking somebody to a house, the whole, hey, do you like this one? Hey, do you like that one? Blah, 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 blah. Because it takes a substantial amount more time to, go around with a buyer, find what they want, and then, get the house basically sold and they move in. It takes less time to have a seller listing, which is like the home that you put the sign in front of, because a lot of the effort that you're doing there is more like behind the scenes after you've already done it. You'll do open houses, you'll go out to it and stuff, but you're not driving all over creation to handle this. You know exactly where that asset is at. Sorry, it's the house. You know exactly where it's at. You can kind of plan your routes. There's not a whole lot of like off the cuff things like when one of our agents is repping a buyer will call them out of the blue. Hey, I just saw something on Realtor.com. It just came on. I want to go see it. And it's like you basically have to drop everything you're doing and go, right? It's a lot of different time bandits for buyer reps. So I'm saying all that because those metrics were built around an ecosystem, back in the, I think, 80s, right? And things have changed since then, and you can find economies of scale by leveraging a lot of different technologies. We still don't have like the beam me up Scotty type capabilities. So we're still driving everywhere, but you can, if you kind of change the way that you can leverage an agent's time, then you can create economies of scale around sales agents, basically, right? So like right now I have combined with my partner 53 active deals, which is pretty insane, and it's a lot. And honestly, I feel personally like my clients aren't getting as much attention as they should, and that like just yesterday, I have an investor. He buys hotels, and so he's calling me. He's like, Jeff, I found these like 4 hotels, and I want to check them out. And but I'm going out of town on Friday, and I'll be back next Monday. So can we look at them this week, right? And he's pinging me on Monday, and we're talking anywhere from $5 million to $50 million deals, and I'm like, I have no time this week to show you these, and that's not good, and it's not that I don't care, it's just that I have so much going on with the transactions that I have, and you have to sequence things, right? And so in this particular week, you asked about what my day looks like. In this particular week, I've got 8 listings going live, and there's a lot of things that you have to do, and I've got people who manage a lot of that, but I'm still the point of contact for communication. And so my clients call me, and then I have to figure out if something is not right, or maybe just talk to them. There's all sorts of things, right? So I sequence things in order of what needs to happen next. And so when my buyer calls me, he's like, I want to see these hotels. I'm like, that doesn't fit in this sequence until here. And so then I'm like stacking, basically.
Stacking for next week or
For
when
next
he's
week.
available.
Yeah. You know, Marshall, he gave me some really good feedback, and it was pretty cool, and I appreciate him. He said, you know, people that want to work with you will wait. And I do appreciate that, and I agree. But when an asset comes on that has a really good deal, that won't wait.
Yeah, I mean, you got to strike when the iron's hot on certain things.
Yeah.
And I think knowing urgency, I think it's like a hard thing for all of us, because like with roofing, we're supposed to respond to a lead from our website or Facebook
Yeah.
within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then they say if you do, then you're 357 or something percent more likely to close that deal.
Yeah.
If you don't, that means I guess you're less
Yeah.
357.
Right.
So it's kind of like,
Less.
I mean, I would say it's the same for realtors,
Yeah.
or maybe even more, because I don't know if there's more realtors than there are roofers. It seems like there probably is.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, just in the state of Texas, I went back to 1970. I'm a big data guy, you know.
Yeah.
I went back to 1970, and I pulled the list of all the people that have ever been licensed. You know, 90% of them don't practice anymore, and there was something like 54,000 just in
And-
Texas.
Well, and what's the lifespan of a realtor? Like, they get their real estate license, they try it out, they make half a sale, or
Yeah, exactly.
there's a lot of them that make like a few sales a year, but then they're actually doing teaching or something else on this,
Yep.
like as their real job. Like,
Mhm.
there's not a lot of, like, I would say
Full-timers.
there's a small percentage of full timers that can really hack it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of that comes down to sales and marketing. It's really most, you know, I've seen a lot of agents, you know, come out and they don't realize, you know, you don't get paid every
Until-
2 weeks.
Until you close the deal.
Yeah, and most agents don't close a deal for 6 months,
That's a dry 6 months. That's hard to make it.
especially when you don't know what you're doing. Right?
That's very similar to roofing.
Yeah,
We have a lot of commission-based sales guys,
Yeah.
and if you don't get them a sale within the 2 weeks, it's really hard to keep them,
yeah.
because the sales cycle could be 3 months
Wow.
with insurance approving it,
Yeah,
going to an inspection, then them getting a check a week later.
yeah.
It just takes some time. So for you, how do you handle? I'm guessing you handle burnout by waking up early and giving yourself time.
Yeah.
Is that the secret to how you prevent burnout, since your job's always on?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. I think it's definitely you need to recharge, right? And that's my recharge time. And also, you know, seeing my clients win, that's a recharge for me too. So, you know, when my client, like, you know, first steps foot into their new building or their new, you know, space, or they sign on the dotted line at the title company and they get their big payout, you know what I'm saying? It's those are the times that just make me just super happy. One of my recent transactions, he had still does a mobile tire repair business, and he's been running it for like 4 years here in DFW. He's got a similar outfit on the East Coast, and he wanted to. He was doing enough business with the mobile, and he decided he wanted his first building, and so it was his first building in DFW, and the deal took 9 months to close, and when we got done at, you know, signing, he was just smiling ear to ear. And the friend of mine who actually referred him to me, right, texts me at the end of the day, and he's like, thank you so much for changing my friend's life. And I'm just like, that's amazing.
That's awesome to hear that.
Yeah, that just made my day, and I know that's my client was feeling the same way too, but that's a recharge for me. That keeps me from burning out.
I would say the passion or love of my job, but then also there's huge rewards when you finish like an apartment job that you've been working for a year and a half or 2 years.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that finally came all together. The roofs are done, the HVAC's done.
Yeah.
New electrical or whatever we did, like we made that place better than it was before.
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome.
It's a big accomplishment. Even residential roofs, I love when they pick an awesome color that just turns out perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was one that turned out not so. I didn't like the color.
Yeah.
I had a guy mix gray and sand.
Oh, wow.
On the same roof.
Wow.
And it's not a duplex.
It's not a duplex.
Yeah, he was like,
it's all mixed in like a
can you
checkerboard?
do like 3 green, it was green and sand, not gray.
Oh.
Green, 3 green shingles and then 2 sandy color and then 3 green on the ridge cap, and I'm just like, I don't recommend this at all.
Right? Oh my God, the disclosures.
I love when people choose like a green roof or a red roof,
Yeah.
and it matches the building or property really well,
Mhm.
because I'm like, that's just different. Thanks for going out there and choosing something different. But that one was like, I don't know, I hope you love it.
Yeah, exactly.
He loved it.
I mean,
I don't know if his neighbors did, but.
To each his own, right?
Yep.
But.
So your LinkedIn presence is extremely consistent. So was there a turning point when you decided to post daily?
I think it's a natural progression, and I spend, in total, probably an hour and a half every day on LinkedIn. And so when you spend that amount of time engaging in a system, you invariably create content. If you are a content creator, you invariably post basically every day. And so I don't have a content calendar. I don't have anything planned out except for what I do for my newsletter. Everything else is just like, I just want to talk about something or talk about somebody, right? And so a lot of the content that you'll see from me is, events that I go to, people that I know, things that I do. Like the other day, I did. I wanted to find out, where investment capital from the Small Business Administration is being deployed.
I saw that post.
Yeah. So I started digging into the data set, which you can download from the Small Business Administration. So I pulled it down. I pulled down the last 5 years, and then I kind of tightened up my window to 2025 and 2026. So like what's recent, right? And so I'm digging through this data, and number 10 out of all the lenders in the United States was Enterprise Bank and Trust. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Our friend Cody Montan. Yeah, he's a VP at Enterprise Bank and Trust. And I'm like, you know what? I want to zero in on that particular lender because I should probably tell the world about it. Because in our networking group, we want to promote each other, like Sean is doing for me right now.
Yes.
We want to promote each other and share the awesome work that they're doing and such like that. So I then kind of focused my research specifically on them, and then I even narrowed it down further to the types of deals that really kind of move something forward from creating an economic impact. Like somebody could get $100,000 SBA loan or something like that, and that's going to help them as a business. But a $5 million SBA loan is going to impact the surrounding areas. So I like to look at the larger deals. So I narrowed it down to how many loans did Enterprise Bank and Trust fund with SBA backing over the past year that were $1 million plus? And they did 117 of them. 256, I think is what the number was, $1 million that they've loaned out.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so I'm just like, and then you look at, okay, what sectors are they investing in? And there's like 16 or 17 different industries. I'm like, they're all over the place. This is amazing. They know how to work with a food service company, a real estate company, a manufacturer, you know, so like Enterprise Bank and Trust is just
doing it all over the place.
That's right. So they know how to write the paper, work with the SBA, and work with the business owners in lots of different industries. So,
do your biggest deals come directly from LinkedIn or indirectly or not at all?
So the way I work with LinkedIn is when I go to a networking event, a lot of people will reach in their pocket and be like, hey, you got a card? You know, it's like, yeah, I got a card. There's my card. Are you on LinkedIn? Is what I ask next. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, scan me, right? And so they scan me. And then I have now a direct opportunity for communication that doesn't have really a spam box that I could accidentally go into, like email, or missed phone call, or your mailbox is full, right? And so I look at connections on LinkedIn like being able to have direct one-on-one communication opportunities in the future. So when you ask me that question, it's hard for me to answer because yes, I do get big deals from LinkedIn, but it's most likely because I met the person.
Met them in person.
And we connected, yeah. I have met just about every person that I am connected to on LinkedIn, which is like 3,900 people. And that's part of the reason why I have consistent like pipeline fullness is because one, I do what I say I'm going to do, and people recommend me and refer me because of the fact that they're like, there is nobody else that I would refer. And two, because in a lot of ways it's a numbers game. And so if you don't go out and meet anybody, it'll be hard for you to get a referral. Yeah. Even if you're really good at what you do, you know, or at least your pipeline will be dry. And to your point about realtors and, you know, that dry period, and then most of them don't make it and they have side jobs. Maybe you're not meeting enough people.
That brings me to a different question totally. So with the realtors, do you have a startup plan for them to be successful at your company to meet enough people to get a sale in their first month or start like transacting immediately?
Yeah, so we've got a framework called Ticket to Launch.
Ticket to Launch, I like that.
Yeah. And it's really about, bringing people into the behaviors that they need to employ to basically become self-sufficient. When we onboard a new agent, we have kind of parameters. I don't onboard people who want to have a second job. That's not the avatar. If you're going to go to networking events, like I went to just before coming here, Texas Association of Business Brokers, right? It's really hard for you to go to a 1.5 hour lunch and learn and meet other people that are adjacent to you in your business if you have a day job. So of course you're going to be like all over the place and working nights only if you're having a day job, right? There's a guy on social, his name's Alex Hermosi, and really appreciate his content. He puts a lot of good stuff out there. I remember he said something once, your 9 to 5 isn't killing you, it's your 5 to 9, so it's like what you do before work and what you do after work. I really appreciate that, but most people don't have that stamina to be able to get up at 5 in the morning, do one job, then do a full-time job, and then after that 5 to 9 p.m. go back to that first thing. That's really what you have to do if you're going to work part-time and be successful in real estate. But most people don't have that stamina. And because real estate is so focused on another person's needs, or another company's needs, you've got to be available when they're available. It's hard to do with a full-time job.
And it's nights and weekends they're available pretty much, right?
For residential, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so commercial, it's
a little bit different.
nice. That's like my retired.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, when they say they were retired, I'm like, oh man, we were made for each other.
Yeah,
don't mess this up, Sean. So,
yeah.
What you've gone into this a little bit. What separates a post that performs from one that doesn't on LinkedIn?
I will say some of the best posts from a performance perspective give something to somebody else. So highlighting somebody else, highlighting them and then tagging them. Encouragement posts, posts that show like what Craig talked about today, vulnerability.
Those definitely get a lot of attention.
Yeah, because I'm not perfect,
Yeah.
and I struggle. I struggle a lot, candidly. Like I say, I feel like I'm letting my clients down a lot of times, right? They don't ever tell me that, and they don't feel that way, but like I do. And other things, just like, some days I wake up and I'm not in the mood, like I'm still on, but I don't feel on, Some days I wake up and I don't want to do any research, and I just want to, have a cup of coffee and stare out the window for a while. But so there's things like, there's stuff like, I'm not burnt out in those things, but there's an emotional something probably that's going on. So
a little disconnect on that day.
Yeah. So
you're like, man, I just want to enjoy this coffee rather than
that's right.
read and enjoy.
And so, you know what? Posting about that, people find it resonates.
They connect with that.
Yeah, they connect with it. And so I'm just being authentic, man. This is like the stuff you see on LinkedIn is just me being me. So it's and that, I think people get that. And so the stuff that doesn't do well is usually just things. If you're going to talk about you, try to reframe it so that it's about them, because the stuff that doesn't do well is when you just talk about you or talk about your business. People aren't on LinkedIn for you.
And do you have a Cloud Team Realty LinkedIn as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What gets posted to that?
So that's more of your standard company,
showing
listings.
Yeah,
HR and legal reviewed versions of everything, right? Yeah. So that's where we'll post things like, hey, new thing popping up, or Cloud Team is doing this sponsorship, or Cloud Team, has, we went and gave out 1,500 backpacks before school started to kids who didn't have backpacks, So we'll post stuff like that, our give backs. We'll post like when one of our agents has a milestone, they have a closing or something like that. So it's more the company kind of, branded stuff like that.
No, it's the same with us.
Yeah.
So if a high ticket salesperson or a realtor wants fast results, what 3 things should they start doing immediately from day one?
So,
in your opinion?
Yeah, I think that if they have never been in the game before, that won't happen. You know, they need that you come into the business with already a circle of influence, right? People that you know. If you're in commercial, there's a lot more to learn than in residential. There's a lot to learn in residential, don't get me wrong, okay? But like, you know, you're not normally learning net operating income, cap rates, you know, submarkets, things like that with residential, you know.
I mean, the questions we get for commercial are pretty intense, and I'm like, what? You want to know how much the insulation is going to save you per unit on a 273 unit apartment complex? And I'm like, well, the insulation doesn't save you anything for the lower one, so I got to divide that in half, and then I got to put a dollar figure to it. Like, what are they paying for kilowatt hour?
That's right.
It's like okay, like homeowners, it's real simple on certain things. It's like, hey, it'll save you 10 to 20%. Oh, that's good. Let's move forward.
That's right. Or it's like, what are my closing costs? You know, and it's like, that's easy to do. When is my first mortgage payment going to be? Call your lender. You know, I can't answer that for you. But like, to your point, I want to say, and I actually had a post about this. I learned in the very beginning from a mentor from kind of like more of a different career that I had in the past. But it was like work to learn, not work to earn. And so my first year of real estate, I worked to learn. And that was an investment that I made in myself and in my future. And then you can earn. It's almost like you have to learn how to earn, you know? So, but I would say in order to fast track your learning experiences and get to the point where you're earning, you have to meet people. You have to meet the right people. I like how Donnie, CEO of our networking group.
SCN.
Yeah, SCN. Mm-hmm. Donnie has the whole synergy triangle thing.
I love that thing.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And so you want to surround yourself with the right people, not just a bunch of people, right? If I'm in a room, if I'm focusing on commercial real estate in industrial manufacturing and warehousing, if I'm in a room with a bunch of, you know, senior citizens teaching them about, you know, home ownership, I've got the wrong people around me, and I'm talking about the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like you want to be in the right rooms, you know, partner adjacent people. So like I'm a realtor, so I want to meet people who do, and I focus on kind of the bigger buildings, right? I want to meet people who service those buildings on a consistent basis. So one of my referral partners is like janitorial services for warehouse cleaning, industrial, things like that. You know, yes, I work with other realtors, but most of the time I'm not getting new clients from other realtors, you know.
But you're getting new clients from the
janitorial services. Yeah, commercial roofers.
Commercial roofers.
You know, I have a 20,000 square foot building out in Dallas near Fair Park, closer to Dallas city proper, that I got from a commercial roofer. You know,
Sweet.
Yeah. And so, no, it's not you, Sean. Sorry. But,
Sorry.
But yeah, it's just those adjacent part. You need to meet those people. So you need to get out and you know, do something for them. I think that a lot of people don't understand that you're getting into the business and people, you need to build rapport and relationship with folks, right? Donnie, he coined this phrase, I think he did, I don't know, maybe, but I use it all the time. When somebody comes up to you and they basically pitch you for the first time that they meet you, right? He calls it pitch slapping.
Yep.
And so like, I feel like a lot of times, you know, you go out there and it's like, hi, I'm a realtor. Can I sell your building? It's like, who the heck are you? Go away. You know what I'm saying? And so like building the relationships and the rapport with people and giving them something before you ever ask for anything, I think is the most important thing to do. So when I go out on LinkedIn and I highlight folks like Cody, for example, I have, yes, he's an industry adjacent partner, but like, I look at it like, hey, this is cool. I can highlight somebody I trust and I've gotten to know over the past, year or whatever. And I want to be able to talk about them. And like, that did so much. That post did so much for Cody, I didn't realize it, And like, his company noticed. And so like, now they actually have asked me for my research on that because they want to use it. And I'm like, this is just public data that like I munged,
Yeah.
But I'm gonna provide that to them. But that provided him, it was like a gift almost to him, but I didn't really intend it necessarily. Just I'm giving. And so what that does, internally for a person then, now Cody's like grateful and happy and so like I probably have a space in his mind, in his memory, that when somebody
realtors.
for a commercial, yep, exactly.
For commercial deals. So how do you stay authentic while still being strategic?
Yeah, that's difficult. Let me tell you. So when I talk about a numbers game, you can back into the math. Here's the example. If I want to close 4 deals a month, and it takes, and my average, connect to close is like 50%, then I need 8 connects or maybe 8 contracts, right, in order to close 4 a month. So I need 8 contracts a month to close 4 a month. Well, how many people do I need to have great relationship with, whether referral partners or just people in general, in order to get to 8 contracts a month? Well, you gotta start somewhere, and a lot of it's just you don't know. So you go out and you start meeting people, and you start figuring out, Donnie calls them champions, who your champions are, people that like consistently like send you business. And then you over-index, or you put a lot of effort into those people and into replicating people like that into your network. So there is strategy around, how do I grow my numbers and of people to be able to get to closed transactions, because that's where the money is, right? When it closes, for me at least.
Same for us.
Yeah. When the job's done, right?
Yeah. When they're happy.
Yeah, when they're happy. So that means I need to meet X number of that type of person per month, because maybe 10% of the CPAs I meet will be the referral partner CPA that's going to be a champion for me, meaning they're going to be talking about me when I'm not in the room, right? And so if I have to meet 15 of those people in order to scale like what I want to do, then I better get out and meet 15 of those people. So there's strategy in that. The authenticity is about knowing when, one, you need to be honest with everybody, right? And I'm very, when I do a recommendation, I usually recommend 3 different people. So if it's a roof that needs to be done, I will recommend 3 people that I know who do roofing, right?
Do that.
Yeah, like I've sent you, I sent you one in the past. Yeah. My client chose somebody else because that's what he wanted to do. That kind of, for me, I can never be, called out, because in real estate, the whole kind of lawsuit that has gone on in the real estate industry.
You can't have back deals, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't ever want to be accused of basically like, oh, Jeff sends everything to Sean, right? And it's like, I want Sean to be in my, strategic referral partner list of 3 people that I recommend,
No, that makes complete sense.
And if somebody like doesn't make your client happy, or something goes on, then you need to be honest, talk about like what happened, you know?
Yeah.
And so I can't have 38 commercial roofers that I'm constantly managing the relationships with. And so the strategy is like, who can you work with that's going to help you build your business, that you can help build their business? There's a real kind of back and forth, you know, relationship opportunity. And maybe you've got 3 of those type of people in each kind of seat in your adjacency synergy triangle.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, it's a numbers game, and we do the numbers commercially and residentially. It's like, hey, how many, I do the books,
Yeah.
and I go to 10 apartments, and I'm expecting, if I bring 10 books in the truck with me,
Yeah.
I'm expecting at least 1 inspection on an apartment complex.
That's awesome.
And I used to do it with commercial stuff,
Okay.
like just random commercial. I wasn't geared just to apartments.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would go in, I like daycares and churches, and I'd go to a lot of the daycares and churches just because I had kids in daycare.
Yeah.
And I went to church, so I was like,
Yeah.
hey, and churches have pretty big roofs normally.
Yeah, they do.
And so.
They go for a lot of money too.
Well, and also, if I don't get the church, they also might have a lot of the community.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and daycare's the same. I did, not only, before I did a daycare that my kids went to, I did a lot of the parents' roofs.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, if I don't get the building, I get like a bunch of residential.
That's right. That's right.
So, I mean, it's a numbers game. And when we're training new guys, we're like, hey, you gotta figure out how many doors you gotta knock, and then figure out how many people you actually talk to. Because the ones that you knocked and nobody answered, this don't really count.
That's right. That's right. They don't count. No one knows you were there.
You gotta talk to
ring
like,
camera.
Yeah, you gotta talk to like at least 15, 20 people, and you gotta make it where one of those people is like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
exactly.
and if none of them are, you might be in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah,
You're in a brand new neighborhood or
That's
something
right.
like that.
Yeah, their roofs don't need fixing.
Yep. So
I like that you have the book. It's a giveaway. It's like you're walking into a relationship, giving them something, you know, useful.
I tried to. It was from my business coach.
Yeah.
Right before my birthday, he was like, "Hey, what's the best marketing tool that you could ever make?" And I was like, "Oh, a brochure or a website." And he's like, "No, you give it to somebody, and they'll give it to somebody, and they never throw it away." And I'm like, I don't know, like a cool knife with your name on it.
Yeah,
And they're like, he's like, "No, Sean, a book." 'Cause he gave me like 3 or 4 hints. He's like, "You put it on a bookshelf," and I was still like, huh. Nice picture.
A bookend. That's funny.
So he was like, "You want to write a book?" And I was like, "Yes, I'd love to write a book." And he kind of walked me through the process. It was so fun doing it with him that I ended up writing another one for another joint venture of mine with HVAC. So, both of them for apartment owners, and it's both to learn like little tricks and tips on replacing your roof when you need to, or replacing your HVAC and insulation when you need to.
That's good. That's
so,
good. I like that.
So I mean, there's LinkedIn's a big part of your strategy. Networking is a big part of your strategy. Do you network outside of SEN, or is SEN your main source, like your main network group? I mean, I think it's your main one, but
it's the one I invest in for my referrals. Okay, for getting to know new people. SCN is not at the scale yet that I would need it to be able to grow the amount of people that I need to know, and so I would rather only network with SCN people, because SCN has a way of weeding out certain types of people that are really just in it for themselves, and I appreciate that. So I would much rather just network with SCN people, because I know I'm not going to get pitch slapped by those folks, right? But going to these other places, oh boy, is it just like it's it's such a night and day experience between SCN and other groups, because it's like the other group networkers don't know how to behave like a good human. You know what I'm saying? They're like just the greasy sales guy on the car lot type thing, greasy hands. So I do network in a lot of places. I try to stay away from groups that I end up feeling that way too much. But I'll tell you some good ones. CCC.
I've heard of them.
Yep, here in DFW. Crew is a great group. Obviously, I was just at TAB, Texas Association of Business Brokers. A little smaller, but like still awesome folks. They're adjacent to me. I've appreciated what Carson Gibbons has done with Dallas Meetup, pretty big. I think you get lost in that crowd now. So they've got a smaller focus group for CRE, commercial real estate people.
Cool.
And then I obviously network with all other realtors and title companies and roofers, and when y'all like put on an event, like I'll go to that, but they're not, most of them aren't SCN people, so they act differently. And so I just have to recognize, okay, this is what I'm walking into, and I'm gonna be different.
Yeah.
And then people actually are like, yeah, you're a different type of realtor. And it's like, it's not just me, it's also the people I hang out with.
That makes sense. No, I've enjoyed SCN. I've cut out a lot of the other networking because I enjoy the people in it, and I mean it's very educational.
Yeah.
And eye-opening as well, because I think I've pitch slapped a lot of people in my past.
Yeah, I mean, we all have, right?
Yeah.
We all have. Live and learn.
Yeah. And so I enjoy like learning about the triangle of synergy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like that really made me focus to go after getting HVAC like partnerships.
Yeah.
And
It's really smart.
I was just like, man, I wish I knew about this triangle like 10 years ago.
Right? I know.
So large commercial deals often come from relationships. How do you build trust at that level?
So that is a long game thing. Typically, you're not at a cigar lounge and you run into this group of people who may be like the decision makers on an $80 million building. That's like you win the lottery.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not something that you can count on. It's building relationships over time, doing the small things first that lead to bigger things. I think that there's a lot of luck in life, and there's also a lot of, you have to create the space for luck to exist. And so, I have friends whose family members have run very large businesses. I spent a lot of time doing kind of smaller deals, to basically build credibility, and to the point where somebody's like willing to give you a shot type thing, that knows you. Because people do business with who they like, know, and trust. And so you've got to fix those three problems in order to even get the opportunity to be able to get kind of the bigger deals.
Yeah, I'm thinking back on some of my bigger deals, and one of them started on like a job that I only made like a piece of a $600 commission.
A piece of $600. Wow.
That was all. The house was so small, and it was on the lake.
Yeah.
And we did the roof, and then all of a sudden, like 6 months or a year later, their building on Camp Bowie flooded.
Wow.
From the roof.
Wow.
And I never would have connected the two.
Yeah.
They called me out to look at it, and I was like, holy cow, this is a big insurance claim.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
And I've had other deals where it started at doing the residential house, and then the guy owns apartment complexes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and I think with the daycares, it started off with the parents' homes, and they were like, man, you've already taken care of like 10 of our parents at the daycare, like now we got hail.
Yep. You basically earned the right to have the conversation at that point, right? You've earned the trust. I'll say this one more thing is when you look at what the synergy triangle is, and this is not a commercial for SCN, but what you're doing is you're building trust and rapport with people who have clients like that already, and so you're able to scale differently than going out and meeting individuals or doing the smaller things for lots of different people, right? You're doing the smaller things for your referral partners who have maybe the same client profile that you do. And so when they refer you, they are transferring the like, no trust metric to you. And so it kind of shortcuts the time that it takes to get to bigger deals, provided that you are surrounding yourself with the right type of people.
Now the triangle is powerful.
It is powerful.
It's super powerful. You'll have to get into SCN, figure out what the triangle is, and then build your triangle.
That's right. That's right.
So you're known as being very tech forward. When I met you said you might know a website, Best Buy.
Yeah.
I worked a lot on it.
Yeah.
Built it or did a lot of AI on it.
Yeah.
So what tools or platforms give you the biggest advantage?
Yeah, so I did work at Best Buy corporate in the past, and I was in IT, and I was one of the strategic leaders there that rolled out generative AI, and that was in 2022, 2023. It seems like ages ago. But
for AI, it seems like ages ago.
Yeah, but so my background is very technical and data oriented because of that. I was more of a senior leader, and so I didn't actually do anything on the site. Other people did, all the real smart people. I could be one of those smart people. I got promoted way too many times.
That's awesome.
So tools. I was one of the early adopters of ChatGPT in 2022, early 2022. It was like, Chat 2.5 or whatever is when I came in, and 3. It didn't get good till 4, maybe 4.0. So I've been a heavy user of large language models for a while. Gemini has gotten really good over the years. In fact, like if you read some of my articles on the Capital Stack, I'll have Google Maps, screenshots of Google Maps. So when I have all of the different kind of events that are going on, like this multifamily complex got 343 million, and this one. I actually use Gemini to create that map. So I just say, I'll go into Gemini and I'll be like, hey, here's 6 addresses, plot them on a map. And it integrates with Google Maps and then plots them all on there for me. So, and then I just take a screenshot of them. So I know there's different ways that you could do probably automation to do a lot of that stuff, but I find that when you talk about authenticity and all the AI slop content out there and all those things, I think AI should be augmenting the human. That really brings the authenticity in. So the content that I put out there, it's AI assisted, but it's just so I didn't have to go in and punch in 5 different addresses into Google Maps. I just had the thing do it for me, right? So I use Gemini, Notebook LM. I really like Notebook LM because you can constrain it's like putting a boundary around what you want to interact with. So basically it's a blank slate. You can't really ask it stuff until you put a source of information into it.
Oh, okay.
And so it will only draw from that source, which means it won't hallucinate. So Notebook LM is good. I've been messing around with Manus, and because Manus is pretty agentic, is what they're calling it nowadays. It can do a lot of things for you, but it eats through kind of your allotment of
Credits or
tokens.
Or
Yeah,
what do they call it?
yeah. I'm trying to use normal people language right now. But it's so difficult. You know, you can basically do one task a month with Manus until you have to start paying for it, and it's like, I don't know, like $30 or $40 a month. Something like that.
Yeah, I just signed up for Base 44.
Yeah.
I've liked that for landing pages.
Yep.
And I have my main website, but then I'm like, okay, I want to build out
Yeah.
service cities and
There you go.
and stuff like that. So it's just cool how fast technology is moving
Yeah.
with AI. But then it's also like, how much junk is it putting out there?
I know, right? Oh my God, yeah. I see crap on LinkedIn, and people who have never used kind of that long dash normally writers use that. It's called an M dash, right? Well, it is notoriously used by AI chatbots. So I'm like, you know, I'll look at somebody's post or I'll look at their comment and I'm like, you have never used an M dash in your life. You copy and pasted that. You know what I'm saying?
Guilty.
Yeah, no, I feel you. When I first started using AI, I had M dashes in there too, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't ever use M dashes. I use ellipses. Dot dot dot. You know?
Yeah, I use dot dot dots normally.
Yeah, that's me. So like,
You got to train your AI then.
you gotta train your AI. Yeah, but I still want it to be authentic. So I still do a lot of content myself, but I do have assistant work. So Claude, I love Claude. I still have Chat, Gemini. I've been messing around with Manus. I don't use any of the kind of non-American models, you know, like DeepSeek or anything like that. Just I never really needed to, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't been on DeepSeek. My wife uses Grok and I use Chat.
Yeah,
And
you're like, your wife likes the unhinged content?
I don't know. Her friend got her into Grok. I've been
Yeah.
telling her about AI and she hated it for so long.
Yeah.
And then once her friend introduced her to Grok and she got on with it, I was like, thank you. Like, I'm just happy she's using it
Yeah,
a little bit.
That's
like,
awesome.
Not like as much as I am, but she uses it for a lot. Once she started using it, she was like, "Oh, I asked Grok, or I asked Grok this," and I'm like, "Well, good. Now we're finding the best of the research."
That's right.
And real fast.
Yeah, because it sits on live Twitter feeds basically. It's training like all the time on Twitter data.
So let's talk. You're trying to recruit agents. That's
Real estate agents.
Real estate agents, not AI agents.
That's right.
Not yet. They're
Yeah.
not licensed, right?
Not licensed at all.
What mistakes do agents make when choosing a brokerage or a leader?
You know, different brokerages have different reasons to exist. You know, like Keller Williams is really founded on education. You know, helping people run an entrepreneurial business. You know, EXP is more about recruiting and, you know, building a group of people who basically produce kind of for you. And then those people produce for they go get people to produce for them, and everybody's producing for each other. But it's more cost effective to be like an EXP agent than a Keller Williams agent from what the money you have to outlay as a person to have a broker. Because just somebody who gets a real estate license, they can't actually transact anything without having a broker. And you can't become a broker for at least 5 years now. So you have to be transacting for 5 years. When you're a broker, you can do everything yourself. You don't need anybody anymore, like as far as to sponsor you. So I think one of the biggest challenges that most people make is they don't understand the role that they're getting into. And when they pick a brokerage, because they don't understand what they actually need, they're not picking a brokerage that's going to solve that need. You know, I see a lot of agents sign on to kind of flat fee brokerages, because like, oh, it's only $500 a transaction, and I don't have to pay monthly dues, or there's no split, like a commission split. But you don't get any education. You don't get any mentorship. You don't get the things. When you get out of real estate school, what you learn in real estate school is how not to go to jail. They don't teach you how to like sell, right? How to actually transact. They don't even teach you how to fill out the dang contracts.
Oh wow!
So,
I thought it was mainly contracts, but
no, it's contract law.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, this happened to me too. You know, I get out of real estate school, I get off the bus. You know, they put me on the corner, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, now what do I do? You know, like I know how not to go to jail, but like I don't know how to do business, so to speak. And so, folks need to learn, like, when they are going to choose a brokerage, what their real problem is that they need to solve.
Where
for.
their weakness is.
Yeah. So it's like, what a lot of agents' weakness is to begin with is they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to market themselves, let alone transact a home. So what do you really need? You need education, right? So that's why I think Keller Williams attracts a lot of people, because they do offer a lot of education. But when you're picking maybe a specific office, you know, it's all about the associate and the designated brokers in that office, or the mentors who are going to help you through that. So at Cloud Team, the whole ticket to launch kind of onboarding system is really like it's a framework to be able to create self-sufficiency through basically on-the-job training with somebody who's done it before. And so there are things that you have to onboard for yourself, like setting up your phone and all sorts of stuff, and it walks you through all the tools that we give agents at no cost, and it walks them through, you know, setting up all their stuff. And you know, they get to check off things on a task list, so it makes them feel good.
Join LinkedIn.
Yeah, join LinkedIn. And then connect to Jeff is the next one. You know what I'm saying? No, we do have them do those things, but then it's like, then the next like step is, okay, load all the contacts from your phone into the CRM, because that's your circle of influence, right? And it walks you
Wait a
through
second.
that.
Say that again.
Load all the contacts from your phone into your CRM.
So they load all their contacts from their phone to your CRM.
Their CRM.
Okay.
Yeah. We give each agent their own CRM.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I wanted you to say that again because we don't call it ticket to launch. I call it 30 days. I don't call it anything, but it's like it's like I let our new guys know, like, hey, in these next 30 days, I want you to get on 30 roofs.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And I go, I don't, like, most people do it by the 200 people in their phone.
Yeah.
You tell them, hey, I'm going through training. I'm not trying to sell you a roof right now. I'm just trying to look at like 30 roofs.
Yep.
And see what flashing is, see what a chimney looks like,
Yep.
up close and personal.
Yep.
Like up close in person.
Yeah.
But they use it as like an education thing, and occasionally they're going to sell one or two of those roofs out of the 30.
That's right.
And they're going to get a quick deal.
Yeah.
But so loading all, I've never thought for them to load all their names into a CRM, and
Yeah.
then they can like check them off or
One, guess what? It's a big list of people you know.
It is.
And so then that's where we start them. So that's their first task. Load. You can download your contacts from your phone. You upload them into the CRM, and then what we do the next step is, because a lot of what they're going to do is make a call or a text. So we leverage AI to help them. So we built we built AI persons that aren't real people, that they can call on a real phone and sell them over the phone and practice cold calling.
You've told me about that.
Yeah, and so after loading their contacts, they then, the next task is, you are reaching out to a homeowner named Paula Henderson. She's had a bad experience with realtors in the past, and your job is to secure a meeting with her over the phone to give her her current home value and see if she'd be interested in selling her home, right? when you're ready, call this number. And so then they get on and they call the number, and most of the agents just are like, can I sell your home? Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not how it works. So we've got a, because we actually have residential agents and commercial agents, we have 2 tracks. One's commercial, one's residential. So
do they have to be a residential first to be a commercial, or can they go straight from
they can go straight to commercial.
straight to commercial?
Usually it's people who have like a business degree or are very focused on numbers who go directly into commercial. But the majority of agents I see come out of agent school go residential. It's just, you look at the number of homes versus number of business buildings. That's kind of similar to the number of realtors. So then after they are successful in securing that desired outcome for that thing, then their next step is to call 5 people from that list that they just uploaded and basically do the same thing, but with a real person. And so we kind of give them this like safe space to learn, and then they go do that thing. And then, so they have to do that with 5 people. They have to call 5 people. Then they have to text 5 people. Then they have to email 5 people. That's like week 1. Week 2, you follow up with those 5 people on each of those mechanisms, and you call 10 more.
Nice.
And it's really just like, this is in a way the same thing, a numbers game, but this is the people you already know. So it's like, how do you get to a potential transaction? It's about the number of behaviors and actions that you do that move you forward towards getting to that desired.
You must have read that Alex Hormozy book.
Yes.
The 100
Law of 100s.
Yeah.
Yep.
To do before you get a sale or something like that.
Yeah, it's true though. It's like, it's reps, right?
Yeah.
You're doing the thing. And so our methodology, our framework is really just about putting them in a cycle of doing those
Getting
behaviors.
used to it.
Yeah, like getting 30 roofs in 30 days.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how that rolls off your tongue too.
No, it's just something that I was like, man, we just gotta get your feet on roofs.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna learn the difference of shingles. Then you're gonna learn the difference of flashings, and everything comes faster with on the job training.
That's right.
And yes, it's hard to sell your friends and your family on the next big thing that you just entered
Jumped
into.
Yeah.
But if one of them buy, then they're going to be a little bit more graceful with you, hopefully.
Yeah.
Than a stranger. And you're we can kind of let them know that this is a coaching experience at the front end, so they're willing to.
Yeah, and you bring along we always have our newer agents. An experienced agent is always there, right?
We do the same.
And Texas requires that the broker assist a new agent on their first 3 kind of transactions.
I wish they did that on the roofing.
That'd be cool, right?
I mean, we do it, but I feel like there's some companies that just hand them contracts and they go out and get it signed,
Get a signature.
right after the hailstorm, and I'm like, man, there's so many green beans out here signing big deals that they don't even know what they just sold.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's realtors out there like that too, But we want folks to we want them to learn appropriately on the job with appropriate guidance.
No, that makes complete sense. I love that you broke down the ticket to launch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think of a name of the 30-day roof thing.
Yeah, and then you gamify it. Like, we put leaderboards up for people, and it's like, where do you compare to previous people who went through ticket to launch? And it's like, oh, I'm gonna beat that guy. Sales is, in a lot of ways, there's a competitive aspect.
There is definitely a competitive aspect. We do competitions when knocking doors for push-ups.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
So
funny.
It's a I don't want to do push-ups reward, right?
Well, I want to make that guy across the street
Oh.
do push-ups. You just let me on your roof, and they're like,
Yeah.
you can video this guy doing push-ups. He can only do like 10,
Yeah.
and he's got to do 30.
That's funny. That's good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, we do. It's like a competition close.
Okay.
I don't know. I read the ABCs of closing, and they had all these closings, and one of them that stuck out to me was a competition close. Make a competition. So
That's awesome.
push-ups was our thing.
Man, we have every week we do for our group, our team. We call it Make Money Mondays. It's our team meeting. Kind of the rah thing. And every week we have some sort of challenge. And so this week, even though these folks are not like in Ticket to Launch, it's like reach out to 5 people that you know that you haven't talked to in a while, and just see how's it going. Don't have real estate in the conversation. Just be like, hey Sean, how you been? Or hey, what are you doing this weekend? Or hey, you want to go have lunch or coffee? Just no reason whatsoever. Just go do it. And it's valuable because there's no hidden agenda, right? If they want to talk about real estate, that's fine. People are always wanting
To know how the market is or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so they may bring it up, but you don't bring it up. So the challenge is this week, do that with 5 people that you haven't talked to in I think it's 3 months.
That's awesome. Well, I think we're getting to the fun part. I got secret questions.
Oh gosh.
No, these are fast ones. Just off the top of your mind, give me a quick answer. Some of them are funny, but I get together a bunch of fast questions that you can just answer, or if you want to pass, just pass.
All right.
But we'll go through it. It's off the hip type stuff. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in a property during a tour?
Oh man. Okay. So this one was for an investor who was looking at these different homes. He was wanting to pick up single family homes, and we went into this home that had been on the market for a while, and there were church pews and giant crosses, a tree growing through the living room, and tons of porcelain dolls all over the place. It was creepy. There were no lights. We had flashlights, and it was dusk. That's one of the weirdest things.
That's funny. My next question is perfect for this. Be honest, how many times have you said great natural light when it clearly had none?
Yeah. It's being positive in real estate is an important thing, and so you don't want to say, man, this place is dingy. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, there's some great natural light coming through that crack there.
The crack where the trees grow.
Yeah, where the trees grow through. Yeah, I would say many times I have reframed what I wanted to say with a more positive thing.
Yeah, you gotta pull the positive out.
That's right.
What percent of real estate success is skill versus percent is just surviving bizarre people?
Oh, that's going to be different in the different kind of, in commercial, people are a lot more just business oriented. They're still eccentric business owners and investors and board members and stuff. So I would say that in residential, the metric for people of different flavors is higher than in commercial.
That might be one spouse out of the two.
Yeah. That is something. I think that a lot of traditional residential, where it's consumers buying a home or selling their home, there's a lot of emotion in it, right? Because it's like, well, this is where I live. This is what I make my own. The same can be true though for business owner operators of the building that they've been in for 20 years or something. But the whole emotional aspect of it, I think really kind of to your point, it turns the realtor into more of a therapist part-time therapist at least, unlicensed, than realtor.
We definitely do empathy sessions with just had a major loss at your house.
Yeah.
That you can't afford. We have to empathize.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
What's the most ridiculous objection you've heard from someone about to spend millions?
I want you to go back. I don't like, what came back from like the FEMA report or the environmental study. I want you to ask for an extra $1,000 off. When it's millions of dollars of a transaction, it's like you want to throw pennies and then potentially lose the deal because of like $1,000. I will pay you $1,000, instead. So I think it's just those like insane asks when it's so small of a thing in a large transaction.
I could agree. Mm-hmm. How often does I need to talk to my partner actually mean I'm never calling you again?
If I think there's a lot of that for sure out there. I don't have a lot of those because I have commercial, and it's mostly all referral business. So I'm not doing a lot of. I'm not selling people really. They call me and they sell me on why I should work with them. So I don't have that same kind of challenge. It does happen to some of our residential realtors. It's like I got to talk to my husband, but that actually means I'm done talking to you type thing. I think a lot of that is just they haven't built up their referral business to the point where that's not a true thing.
What's the most expensive decision someone made based purely on vibes?
I had a client lose an entire property lose the deal on an entire property because they didn't like the selling agent. And so they wanted to stick it to them by kind of, showing their stuff type thing. And that building's sold to somebody else. And it was a building he really wanted because he wanted to teach that agent a lesson.
Some people put their foot in front of their other, in their mouth or whatever.
I coached him on, don't do this. This thing's gonna move.
What's the strangest LinkedIn message you've ever received?
Man, I get pitch slapped on LinkedIn all the time. I got one, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, and somebody was saying I look like a great candidate to join their company as a life insurance sales rep. And I'm like, life insurance? Why am I a great candidate for life insurance sales? You know what I'm saying? So that was probably the weirdest one that I've got so far.
Have you ever accepted a connection request and immediately thought, mistake?
Yes. Yeah.
When they pitch slap you.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, hey Jeff, how you doing? I wanted to reach out because I saw you're active in commercial real estate. It's like, oh yeah, no problem. It's like, hey, I've got this new, fancy software that helps brokerages save thousands. And I'm like, you don't know me.
Man, there's so many roofing marketing LinkedIn messages that we get. Hey, could you handle another 10 to 20 roof jobs a month?
I know. Dude, you don't even know how many dang texts I get from wholesalers. Hey Jeff, know of anything off market that you can help me buy? And it's like, okay. It's like, hey Jeff, is there anything off market that you know of? I'm really looking for my next opportunity. I'm like, no, you're not. You're a wholesaler.
And then they text you like, hey, you texted some interest back a while ago, and I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
It's only you texting.
I know, it's only you texting. Hey Jeff, I haven't heard back from you, clearly.
What's the corporate version of sliding into DMs?
Well, we're not as corporate as other companies, so we're pretty lax about things. We're good. we say like, respond appropriately. And so it's really just about like, if we want to direct message somebody we don't know, I like to say, you need to earn the right to have a conversation. So I like what Donnie says. It's like, hey, I saw you're in plumbing. How'd you get into that profession? It's a great kind of
Intro.
Yeah. I have been starting my DMs to people I don't know with hey, Sean, I have nothing to sell you. Period. I just want to connect because I saw that you're in this industry and I want to meet more people like you.
Nice.
Yeah. So I clearly have nothing to sell.
What client type is scarier? One that asks 0 questions or one that asks 400?
Oh, geez. I think the 400 question person is a time consuming one. I like to give honest, real, authentic feedback and give reasons behind things. So when it's 400, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably scarier. I can always draw out questions from somebody who's not talking.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Who negotiates harder, seasoned investors or first-time buyers with Google?
My season's investors. They know exactly what they want and how and what they want to get it for.
Have you ever thought this person should absolutely not be in charge of this much money?
Oh yeah. You remember I was in corporate America.
Yeah.
There is people in management in corporate America that should never be there.
What's the longest deal that's dragged on before finally closing?
I'm still working on a deal from 2 years ago, so it's not finally closed yet. So to be continued.
To be continued. I think mine was 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it went to litigation first.
Oh, okay.
It was HOA and
Yeah.
had to go to litigation for 3 years and then finally came back out with a settlement. And
Oh,
then we
wow.
roofed it.
Mine's just like slow.
That stinks.
Yeah, I mean it's big and slow, and it's just reality. I was talking to Cody from Enterprise Bank and Trust, and he says his average sales cycle is 2 years.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense for a banker.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever aged visibly during a single transaction?
Considering they can be so long, yes.
I was gonna say, it's a good follow-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever closed a deal and immediately needed a vacation?
Yes, yeah. On a recent transaction, I really feel I need a vacation right now, but not from this. On the recent transaction, my client almost lost $236,000 because he was going to wire it to a scammer on accident.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So after that, I'm like, holy crap. And at the at the closing table, the seller wanted to renegotiate the deal. And I'm like, no, we're closing.
Yeah, you missed that chance. That
Yeah.
was during option period.
Exactly. That was months ago.
How many dashboards, CRMs do you check daily? Which ones do you secretly ignore?
Yeah. I actually secretly ignore my own because I'm terrible at updating my own CRM. See, look, more weakness right there. But yeah, I look at our dashboards for who's kind of projected to have certain volume, who's got deals in the pipeline. I look at the dashboards show basically company health, so I ignore my own health.
You got a pipeline.
I do.
What's the most useless productivity hack you've tried?
Useless productivity hack. I have tried the whole work while you're walking on the treadmill thing. Okay, I can take calls. I can do calls on the treadmill because I'll normally walk around while I'm on the phone talking to somebody. But I can't type when I'm on the treadmill. I can't use my iPad. Or I can't even text while I'm on the treadmill.
I haven't tried to work in treadmill. I take nature walks every once in a while.
There you go.
And that's a beautiful refresh or recharge.
Yeah.
from stressful like talks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if I have a really stressful talk, it might be in the woods.
Yeah. Nobody can hear you too.
Well, in the woods, I'm like walking around. I'm like, man, it's so beautiful out here, and we're solving this big problem.
Yeah.
But one last question, or a couple last questions. When you're carrying the groceries inside from grocery shopping, do you load up all the groceries all at once, or do you take multiple trips?
I try to get it all in one trip, but it never happens. Because I'll shop at a big box,
Costco.
Yeah, like a Costco.
Sam's.
And so I'm always having big boxes of things, and that really kills my one tripper
Yeah, one
opportunities.
trip champ.
Yeah, exactly. But like if I'm coming back from HEB, I can get like 15 bags on each, hand.
I do the same.
I try.
I got 5 of us in the family, so it's hard to get all the bags on one trip.
Yeah.
And then the sodas, but
Yeah, because
I try.
You're like, oh, I got 2 cases of Dr. Pepper. That's all I can do on this one.
All right. So where can our guests find you? Where can they connect with you? Where can they start talking to you?
Yeah. So Jeff Lloyd, JEFFLOYD is my name. You can search for me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn tag or whatever in the URL is cloud-realtor. So you can look me up there. Cloudteamrealty.com is our website, and we have a team button you can click, and I'm on that team page, so you can get me there. You can give me a ring, 682-255-2745, and I also have a AI pre-screener. So
On your phone?
yeah, on my phone. So
Which one is that?
It's Apple's. It's
Apple's.
nothing.
Okay,
It's
cool.
nothing crazy.
I guess I have that one too.
Yeah, and I use that just as pre-screen. So just be prepared. And a lot of times with clients, so texting me is probably better. So yeah, those things. I am on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but I'm much more active on LinkedIn because a lot of my clients are on LinkedIn.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, dude, it was a great time having you on.
Yeah.
Lots of awesome information, education. I love that idea about the CRM loading all your
Phone
contacts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Use it.
Yeah, I will be.